Yes, hello guys, how are you doing? And today we're going to be doing some architecture gothic art. This is a link. Hello Burning Bright, how are you doing? And I think today I wanted to approach your topic doing this gothic architecture as you requested. How are you, Zigzag? How are you, Burning Bright? Glad to see you guys. Yeah, so today we want to do something like this. I saw this on ArtStation and I thought we could give it an attempt. And I want to also do it modular and see how things go. Hello Motorcycle, how are you doing? But yeah, before we get right into it, let me do a few quick promotions. I want to support the channel. Yeah, so if you're in the market let me first reduce this audio. Yeah, so this is an amazing add-on. It just simulates gravity ropes, as you can see here, and yeah, if you're trying to create wires and everything like that, it uses physics, and I thought it was a cool add-on that you guys might find very useful, and it can create wires hanging like that. It's just amazing how creative the community is. And here's he's making a necklace, and you can see how he's connecting things together. It's just, I don't even know how you would approach a project like this if you were to do it the default way of doing things in Blender. Yeah, so that's an amazing add-on called Gravity Grub. The link is in the description if you want to get it. And I know a lot of you do end up getting the add-ons that I promote, so that's why you see I continuously do that, because some of you might be interested. Hello Deepak Giri, how are you doing? How is your day today? Another add-on I want to promote is Be Snow, which is an add-on that lets you simulate snow on top of things. Again, this is something I wouldn't know how to approach if I was to do it the usual way of doing things directly in Blender, but this add-on manages somehow to do the simulation. I don't know if they're doing a fluid simulation through this, because I'm seeing a domain, but yeah, the results look super amazing. Again, our link is in the description. If you get it using the affiliate link, I get a commission off of that. Another product I want to promote is Procedure Texturing by Creative Shrimp. This is a texturing class, a procedure texturing class that is made by Creative Shrimp. These guys are very good at making tutorial courses for Blender, and their courses are very high quality, and you can check out the course, of course. Link is in the description. So let's get into this and see how. Let me close this. Okay, yeah, so let's get into this and try to make this. So how would we approach this? Let me save an image. Blender. Let me just work within the layout. So we want to create this, and I'm looking at different ways we can approach this. So let me get my pen tool. You can see there are quite a few modular pieces here. You have this column that is repeated here, that is repeated here, and several parts here. So this part here can simply be a single mesh that uses an array to create this bridge. I guess let's talk about it as we work. Yeah, so let's start by let me see, by just blocking out the entire scene. I also want to have the same camera angle as they do here. So hello from France, good luck. Hello Daniel da Silva Vieira, how are you doing? Good luck to you too. So yeah, let's start by making what? Let's make this part here, and we're going to start off with a low poly or low detailed block like this. And, let me see. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Anacho33. Thank you, really appreciate that. So let's start with hello AR. Let's start with this, and I think to make it look modular, let's add a few extrusions. I think I'm going to expand this so that I can easily see what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to add a loop here and a loop here. I'm looking at a more efficient way to do this, to operate this. And I think, let me see, does this, I think this is used in other places as well. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is if you look closely at this element, we can just create this piece here as a module and reuse it in different areas. So this can also be a different module that can be repeated everywhere. So what I'm going to do is start with a cube like this. And go to edit mode, rotate it 45 degrees. Should I? Actually, no. I can just add a loop here, and remove the other sides. I'm going to use my quick functions add-on to add a mirror modifier, but you can also do this directly in the modifiers like that. So what I'm doing, do we even need a mirror modifier there? So I don't think we do. I don't think we need that in the Y. As okay, let's first see. Let's see. So let's first see. Let's see. Okay, so if I get rid of this edge and this edge, because I'm creating this piece, I can bevel that like that. Add a mirror here, and then extend this out a bit, and here I can get rid of these faces and just use a mirror modifier at like that. But I need an empty. I'll rotate it 45 degrees and I use that as the mirror object. I think this would be, yeah, like that, so that we get the shape, a shape like that. So I'm going to turn on clipping here. Bring this mirror closer. Okay, like that. Now I can start detailing this part here. So I can grab this, push it out a bit. Now, and I think we can also push this further out, and now we can create this top detail. My heater. Create this detail up here. This can be a face, and this here we can extrude like that. Yeah, something like that. And you turn on random colors. You put shading, random colors. I can grab this edge, extrude up around there, and now with that, actually I don't need these back faces, and with that I can grab, and I also don't need this face. I can extrude along normals like that. Make sure you have the even offset. Create that detail there. We can make ours a bit different. Let me first, okay. Maybe you can grab this edge loop, use Ctrl B, round it off. Let me make sure that my scale is applied. Just like that. And maybe add a loop here. Ctrl B. I'll push this one out, Alt S, and then round it off. Shade smooth, and then auto smooth. And I think I might want to push this out a bit. Yeah, so we have that detail. It looks different, but that's exactly what we want, to have that look a bit different. And maybe we want it to be a bit tall as well, so I'll just grab these faces, push them up, and I think it would be a good idea to start UV unwrapping, because if we don't UV unwrap this right now, it can become an issue later on. I'm going to get rid of this face and also get rid of these extra bits that are not necessary, and merge this to the last. Yes, just get rid of, dissolve any details that are not necessary, so like that. So minimize the polygon count like that. Okay, so now for UV unwrapping, let me see, let me first just make sure that I don't have faces that are unnecessary. Great work. Thank you, Trad Al-Kahan. Thank you. Okay, I think I deleted a few vertices that I shouldn't have. Anyway. Okay, so now UV unwrapping this should be very simple. I'm just going to add a loop cut here, Control E maxim, and then unwrap this. What I don't want is this stretching, so I can select this edge, Control E maxim, Control E maxim, unwrap again, so that I straighten that. And I'm also seeing a few issues here, so I'm just going to grab this edge loop here, Control E maxim, so that I can separate it, and this surface now looks a bit more straight. But I also want these to be straightened more, so what I'm going to do is just scale them on the X and repeat these for all the edge loops. Okay, no. We need these edge loops to be straightened. So I'm just using Alt R to repeat the steps I'm done, and now we have our more straightened face like that, and we can test out our UV. So let me use Shift Q, create a new material like this, and let me go to material mode here. Let me save this. I'll call this I'll call this what did I call it? Gothic architecture. How did you straighten the UV? So okay, let me show you. So to straighten a UV, let's add a Suzanne head here. Okay, so if I wanted to straighten this edge loop to here, so I'm selecting the first vertex and then holding on Control, and then the last vertex, the vertex I want to end on, and Blender will just create a shortest path, a selection of the shortest path to there, and you can use S for scale and then Y for the axis, and that should scale, should flatten the vertices, or align the vertices along the X or the axis you have selected. So let's say I wanted to straighten vertically this line of vertices here. Again, I'm holding down Control and then selecting different vertices. So if I wanted to straighten these, I'll just hit S to scale, and then X for the axis, and then 0 to align them on 0. Yeah, at 0, like that. Now let's create a texture for this. We want two materials. I'm going to create. I want to use PBR materials, so I'll use Shift Q if you're using the Quick Functions add-on, which you can get. Link is going to be in the description. Shift Q materials, new PBR material. I'll go to my PBRs, bricks, and let me try this. Okay, let me see. Why did that not work? Shouldn't have that. Okay, I think this material is not the best material for this. Looking at the roughness is colored, Ambient Occlusion is colored. Let me get a different material. So Shift Q, material functions, new functions. Let me get a different material. Maybe this, yeah, something like this. I can see how that looks. All the PBR textures have been set up for me. Let me just, and now again using the quick functions add-on, if you have it, you can use Shift Q to add mapping, and that should add the mapping for you. I'll select all the nodes because I want to use, you know, we have UV unwrap this, so let's use that. Just scale this somewhere like that. Let me bring back the reference image. Hello IGS developer, how are you doing? How is everything? Let me just pin this. So yeah, so this is going to be bricks 1, but I want the top part to have a concrete material. For that, I think I've made a few concrete materials. So let me go to my asset library. By the way, I separated the quick function add-on from the asset library because I thought things were getting too cluttered. So let me go back here, search for concrete material, grab this. Oh, let's create a new concrete material from scratch. So I'll create a new material here. Hello, good sir, Gothic Arch. I've never tried. I will try at the weekend. Nice. That's good to hear. Okay, so I want these bricks to be a bit let me see. Scale down at something like that. Now I also want them to be a bit darker, so I'm going to add a color RGB curve here and just increase the multiply. I'm going to also turn on let me see render settings, turn on ambient occlusion, also turn on EV, screen space reflections. Like that. I want the top to be a different material, so Shift N, and you can see the way we UV unwrap this, our textures, our UV map. Let me look at this UV. You can see it looks like it's still stretching, so let me align these on the Y as well, see if that should fix that. And I think this UV needs to be rotated like that, and I think now that looks better. I'm seeing some Z fighting here, so I'm going to turn on bisect. OMG, I finally get to see his face. Hello Shakama. Yeah, that's me, this is me. Okay, so let's make a concrete material for this. I'll create a new material, I'll call it concrete, and the quick function has a few nodes. So if you use Shift Q on, if you're using the quick function add-on, which you should get, link is in the description, you can use. Do I even have that up? Let me check. Yeah, so this is the quick functions add-on. It's already live. If you want to get it, let me add it in the description because I think I forgot to do that. Because the one. Yeah, it's in the description. So I live in Ghana, Guinea, and Morocco. Where are your parents from? My parents are from the same country that I'm living in. I was in Uganda. Okay. Hello everyone. Hello Yasin. How are you? What was I getting? We want to create. So I'm going to use import texture, resources. I'll go to my walls. I need to get a concrete surface, like maybe something like this. connect this to the base color like that, and I want it to be assigned to the top part like this. I think this looks good already, but let me add. The texture is a bit low res, so let me add control. You can use shift Q, add mapping like that. Change this to object mapping. I think because I'm saying I would have a mirror issue here. Apply the scale. The problem with object mapping, you don't really have control over the flow of the texturing. I'm not sure if this is coming through the YouTube compression, but you can see that the texturing does not line up to the direction of our walls. That's why you see UV mapping is much better because it gives you that control. Let's change back to flat. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing great myself. Are you going to make a flying buttress too? Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, so we can scale this up a bit like that, and we have a concrete surface. I think we can also use it up here, and we have that. I also think we could grab, let me see, is it necessary? Is this necessary? So if I straighten this like that, if I straighten that like that, I can basically just extrude this down, but this is also going to mess up our UV because we haven't UV unwrapped that area. Anyway, so I'm just going to make sure this lines up with this active element. What I'm going to do is just make sure that these are using a different seam so that they don't mess up our UVs that we have already set up. So I'm just going to select this, Control L, unwrap, and now if I select everything, you can see that we still have good UVs. Do you do client work? Best place to contact you? I do client work, but not very often because I kind of have a few projects going on, almost always. But yeah, if you want to contact me, you can just either use Discord or my email address, which should be in the YouTube description or somewhere. Okay, so this is our pillar, and I think this side needs to use the brick surface as well, and yeah, that is this part. Now, since we have made this part and also went through the trouble of adding in this top detail, then this portion here should be much easier. Now, to do that, I'm just going to first, I think I can rotate this 45 degrees like that, apply this mirror, get rid of this empty, and just get rid of this portion, this side, and bring back the mirror modifier, apply the rotation, yes, and okay, yeah, so this is it. We have this part here, and we don't need to do the base here because if we added, do I have a modifier, an array modifier here? I should have an array modifier. I don't have it here. Anyway, so if I add an array modifier here in the y-axis, you can see that it gives the other one a base. let me first reduce on the scale of this. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now since we have this piece, it's easier to make the other piece. So all I have to do is just duplicate this, get rid of this part, this portion here, rid those faces, and straighten these like that. And now I have a wall. Let me look at this through here. Now I have a wall like that. And this one we don't need the mirror. So let's make sure to unwrap this correctly. Select this, unwrap. Let me check my normal map here, just so this, let me change this to non-color data. Okay, so you can see now I can easily make this wall longer, but again, as you can see, that is going to Control E maxing, mess up my UVs. So just make sure that we straighten them again. Hello everything. Hello Muhammad Ona. How are you? Okay. Your ambient occlusion texture to mix custom colors is use ambient occlusion texture to mix two custom colors in the way it won't look repeated. Oh, I understand what you're saying. So you mean you want us to add let me get this input ambient occlusion, but that's not really going to stop it from repeating, I think. Let me go back here. One thing you can do if you're going to render with Eevee, in ambient occlusion you can increase the distance and the factor to make it more pronounced. And if you're using the ambient occlusion node, you can also add a color ramp to control how much ambient occlusion you get, like that. Or you can even add, let me use quick functions. You can even add, okay, I don't have it there, but you can even add a math node here, change the operation to something like power, and just increase the ambient occlusion like this, and then you can just blend the two with a mix node like this. Mix RGB and connect this to the base color. Let me preview that. Hi, just joined. How's your day been? It's been great. How's yours? Anav Shatish. Ambient occlusion texture of the texture you are using already as a mask. As a mask. Let's see. So the ambient occlusion is here. So if as a mask, Control R, maybe that could work. So what I'm previewing is ambient occlusion of the PBR texture. Because some PBR textures come with ambient occlusion, some don't, but this one comes with it. And so this is the ambient occlusion. So you're saying if we use it as a mask, so I'm just going to amplify it, just bring in, yeah, I think that can, you're right. You are right. So if we, let me first connect this, blend these two using Q, mix RGB, yeah, like this. If I preview this, so this is how things look. I want this to be the factor. Yeah, it does really seem like it's breaking up things, but I think this should be color 2. And now we can basically add a different color. Is this what you meant? So I can add a new image texture that looks like let me see, concrete or something like this. How did I put that? Yes, this. This here. Now it can be the color. I don't know how I can make texture. Can you teach me? What kind of texture are you talking about? Yeah, so yeah, now there is, it does break up the material thing. Yes, but I made custom color mix RGB node. Custom color RGB node. I'm not sure what you mean there. Looks cool. Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by custom color RGB. So let's cut in a window like this. So again, this, as I said, this is going to be modular. So you can see if I bring this, and the way to make this, if you want to make this easier for yourself, you can just move the origin point somewhere like that. So maybe this. Let me first apply the mirror. Can origin to 3D cursor. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Mark Takax. Thank you. Will you leave the video up? Yes, it will be up later, like before. All my streams have always been left up. So you can see how this would join quite easily, like that. The only issue I'm having is the mapping here, because we're using UV maps, and the scale of each UV is a bit different. That's why you see that the bricks don't match up. So instead of using UV, I'm going to use object mapping and just select all these nodes. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Akith Singh. I really appreciate that. I'm going to change these to box mapping. If you select different nodes and use Alt, you can change them the settings at low. How do you fix the UV? What is the issue with the UV? What issues do you have with the UV? And so now we have that. That's our wall. Let's create another wall with this window. So I'm going to duplicate this here. I think the first thing I'm going to do I need symmetry for this? I want to create that window. So let me start with a plane like this. Scale it on the X, apply the scale, add a loop in the middle, bring that up like that. Then get rid of the vertex in the middle, and then I can use Control B. Control B. I can even use a curve modifier for this, but I think this is much easier to do. You know what? Yeah, let's use a curve. So instead of let's add a circle rotated 90 degrees, and then hit V, vector, rotate it 45, like that. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Kuna Search Deva. Thank you. Does Blender have a world mapping like Unreal Engine? So textures scale across different meshes, no matter how large or small. Yes. It has a world mapping, but it doesn't really work as Unreal would work. So if you want to replicate something like what Unreal does, let me add a Q. Let me add a circle here. Add a Suzanne head and add a cylinder just to demonstrate what I mean. So and a cube. So if you add a new material, and let me bring in an image with the UV grid, because this will demonstrate the thing, and I'll just preview this. So you can see this also link the materials so that they're using the same material. So if I scale this up, you can see that this object, the UVs are not scaling. But if I add another object like an empty like this, and add texture coordinate mapping. So to add texture coordinate mapping, if you're using my add-on, which is much easier, you can use Shift Q, add mapping, and that will add a mapping node and a texture coordinate mapping. But if you don't have the add-on, you can use input texture coordinate and then add a mapping node, a vector mapping node. The add-on just helps you do this. So to do what you want to do, as you can see in this texture coordinate mapping, there is no world mapping, but what is there is object mapping, is object coordinates. So I can use those coordinates, connect them to the empty like that, and now this is using, all the objects are using their own object coordinates. But if I want to use, say, the world coordinates, all I have to do is just in the object selector here, I just have to select an empty like this, and now all the objects are using the object coordinates of this object. But you want to use world coordinates, and world coordinates starts at 0, 0 at the center of the world. So I can just reset the position of this object so that it's using the same, so that its coordinates are the same as the world coordinates. Now, if you're using object coordinates, you also need to make sure that you're using box projection for your UVs to look correctly, to look correct. So now if I scale this, you can see that the UVs are still the same, all the mapping is still the same. And if I scale this up, if I scale the mapping here, you can see even when I move, I don't know if that's what you were asking, but basically that's how you do it. It's just there are no world coordinates, but if you get an object and reset it to the center, you can use it as the world coordinates. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Good. Basically that's how you do it. Does Blender? Okay. I meant you remove the base color texture from Mix RGB and add two similar plain colors, and but those are not going to give us the rough brick texture, if that's what you're. Do you have a second monitor, or do you just divide the one that you have? No, I have two, and then a laptop. So I'm playing the music on the laptop. It's here, and yeah. So the live stream is on the second laptop. Is on the second computer, and then Blender. You can't really do live streaming with just one monitor. Even two, you would struggle. So yeah, I'm kind of using three. Okay, so here, okay, let's create this window. Go to edit mode. I think we need to subdivide this, bring this up. So we want to create this arch here. All you have to do is just select these coordinates, scale them on the X, scale the points on the X, and just do this. I can even just scale this 0, scale this point at 0, and basically have an arch like that. Now that makes it easy for me to control. Now if you're creating this, I think this is more like an Arab type window. But let's just go with that. Let's not get distracted. Just do this like that. I think it's more bit like that. Yeah, so after you're done with that, all you have to do is convert this into a mesh. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm not using a lot of polygons. So I'll reduce this to something minimum, then convert that to a mesh. Then just going to extrude this on the Y like that. Then what do we do? Okay, so for this we need two things. We need a boolean for the window to cut out the window part. So this is going to be it. We first recalculate normals, shift N, shade smooth, auto smooth. Sometimes when you use auto smooth, you will realize that you're not getting sharp edges where you expect them to be. If you're experiencing that, just go under object data, normals, object data, geometry data. It's not actually there. Let me see. Does this look auto smooth? Why is this smooth all the way? If you're getting, if you auto smooth something like this, an object like this, and it appears to be smooth where it shouldn't be, because right now these edges should be sharp. Just make sure that in your normal you have auto smooth turned on, and the angle is set to something less than 45, so sorry, less than 180. You need more edge loops for an edge. I'm not sure what you mean. That if you need more edge loops, that usually works if you usually need more edge loops if you are going to add a subdivision. So if I add subdivisions, you can see it will just smoothen everything. So yeah, what you're saying would be right. I would need more edge loops, supporting edge loops, to make that sharp. But for this case, I just wanted the edges to look sharp. So all I needed to do is turn it auto smooth and make sure that my angle is below 180 degrees. So 30 makes the edges sharp. Yeah, so this is going to act as our boolean. So let me come in here, bring this here, scale it down like this, scale it up like this, and just reposition it where I want it to be. And I can select this and add a boolean modifier. I can get rid of the array first so that we just work on the wall. Just select this, add a boolean modifier, and select the object as the boolean. And if I hide this, you can see what we are getting. Have a good day. Hello Maria, how are you? Are you saying goodbye? Because I thought you were just getting here. Anyway, have a good day too if you're going somewhere. Anyway, so let's create these, scale this down somewhere like that. And I think we can apply, let me turn on wireframe because I want to make sure that I'm getting at least good UVs. So yeah, let's apply this and hide this. Actually, I need to make sure that this goes all the way in, and that this goes all the way in. I'm making a hole. I think I need to scale this on the y-axis like that. So yeah, something like that. Actually, I think this needs to be right through like that. Apply the boolean, and let's do some cleaning up. And just to make my life much easier, I'm just going to add a loop cut here. That should go all the way through this. It's not, but that's okay. Let's first get rid of some of these extra edge loops. So we have this. Good. Okay, now we can create these details. For those, all we have to do is just grab this face up, down, Shift D. I'm separating this just so it's much easier to work with, like that. I'll give it. Your mic volume is small. Can you put it up? You sure? You sure? It's up. How about now? I think now it should be better. It should be louder. Okay, sounds fine for me. Okay. Maybe try to increase your volume. It was a bit down, but yeah, I thought it would be fine. Anyway, sounds good. Good then. Good. So I'm looking at several ways we can approach this part here, and it's the same. Maybe it's on your side, vid sub. It might be on your side. Okay, so let's create this part here. So there are several ways to do this, as usual. We can, yeah, it must be on your side, man, because that sounds good for everyone. So Shift D, I'm going to duplicate this, so I have an edge loop like this. Separate. Where is it? There is so this here, P, yeah, separate it, and I want to convert it to a curve like that. Yeah, curve to profile is what I was getting to. I think it's much easier. So now I will just come here and start designing the curve, and you can use another curve object or do it using a mesh. I'm not sure which one would be much easier to do. I think let me use a mesh and then convert it later into a curve, because yeah, so this is going to be, so I'm creating this part here. Actually, let's use a curve. It's much easier to review while we're working. So I'm just going to, curve would be smooth. Yeah, it'd be much faster, I think, as well. So let me rotate this 90 degrees and bring it here, and then I can add that to this curve. Select this as the profile, and you can see what we are having. So what I'm going to do is change this to a 3D viewer so that I can have the curve here and preview how it looks here. So let me see. Okay, so this here, rotate this 180, rotate this 180 degrees. Just add. Yeah, you can see playing with the curves here. So I think I will need to subdivide this a few times and just start making some details. So bring this here and start just basically moving points around until you get something that looks good. I don't know, maybe that could be like that. Grab these points, push them. I don't know, something like that, and you can see how what that results into there. So I think this also needs to be a bit, and I think I have too many points, so let's get rid of some. I think this is more like that. You can see, and maybe we need a few extra details in here, so I can subdivide this. Maybe this is there. Yeah, something like that. And what you want to be careful with is the resolution, especially if you're doing this for game. I can see that we have quite a few subdivisions, so I'm going to go back to this, reduce those subdivisions, and just bring them back at something more manageable like that. Then all we have to do is apply this, but I want to maintain a backup copy of this, so I'll just Shift D and create a new collection, call it BK for backup, and just disable it. And in case I want to reuse it, I can just come back, or want to adjust this a bit. But now I want to also also just convert this to a mesh. So right click, mesh, I like that. I don't need this anymore. Reset origin. We have that. You're a beginner? Then this is a nice tutorial thing for you. I thought it was an expanded array. What was an expanded array? Now this can use our concrete material like that. And again, it would be good to UV unwrap this here at this point here. So let's do that. Let me bring back the UV editor. And again, you want to have this straightened. So scale on the X. Another way to straighten your UVs. I master like you just have to practice about math and watch a lot of tutorials. You can ask Mario. Hello Smith. Hello Hashworth. Okay, so one way to straighten these UVs is you can find a face that is already straight like this. Make sure that is selected. And then select everything. Use U and then follow active code, and that should straighten the piece for you. It's not going to straighten it perfectly, especially if the face you selected wasn't perfectly straight. So let's make sure that the face we select is perfectly straight by first straightening it itself. So I can select this face here. I make sure this is the active face, and then you follow active code, and that should straighten the entire piece like that. Are you gonna add the pillars? Work well in at the bottom? Yes, we're going to add the pillars. How can I know that 3D object will work well in mobile game using Unreal Engine? I think there are several ways you can test that. You can see the polygon count, or even just publish it to a game and see, or test it on a game engine. Sorry, on a mobile phone and see. You know your stuff. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hello, how is you so happy? I found this channel. Thank you. I think you're saying you're happy you found the channel. Can I make 3D movie with Blender? You definitely can. It has been done before by Light Studios, so you can as well. Okay, so I'm going to select the faces here, get rid of those, and we have this. Now let's add the pillars. So it seems like there are 4, or there are two pillars. So I'll come here, face off that, face off this, and I'm going to select the faces on this side and just get rid of those, and use a mirror function. So modifier, mirror modifier, like that. Maya is a better software. Depends who you're asking. If you're asking here, it's going to be Blender. If you're asking on a Maya channel, it's likely going to be Maya. How much, say approximately, the time anyone can master Blender? It depends on you, man. It depends on you, how you learn, and where you're learning from, how much time you're dedicating to what you're learning. Anyway, so let's create the pillars. I'm going to add a circle. Shift A, add a circle. I'm going to use 16. There's no need to use a lot. I'll scale this down like this, and hit F, extrude down, insert, extrude down, insert, extrude all the way. Select this edge, Control B to round it off. Add a few segments using your mouse wheel, and just in the bevel settings, just change the shape, something like that, so we have a detail like that. And I think we might also need, I don't know, do we round off this a bit like that? Yeah, shade smooth, auto smooth, like that. Hey Sagefire, how are you doing? And thank you for subscribing. Hello Kapil Patel, glad to see you again. Morning Top Channel. Hope all is well, bro. Stunning work as always. Thank you man. Thank you. 8 hours per day. 8 hours, yeah, 8 hours per day. You definitely get somewhere within a month, or even within a week if you're spending that kind of time on any project. You should be able to get very good at it. I love how you explain everything. I always going to watch you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Okay, just bring this down. E, then extrude down like that. I think we might need a loop here. Control B like that. Need one segment. O2, and then extrude along normals, and then just round off these edges. I'm going to change this to like that. Scale it out just like that, so we have some small detail on that. And I think I can also round off this a bit just like that. And you can see we have two columns, so let's add those. Shift D. Actually, before we even unwrap that, I'm just going to make sure that this is UV unwrapped. Hey, thank you for subscribing, William Cheng. Right. Thank you. Say approximately. Approximately. You mean for someone who's learning Blender? Yeah, approximately. I'm not sure, but depending to if you're spending 8 hours a month, and Blender is a very big software. It has a lot of parts. So what exactly, if you want to learn to be very good at Blender in every aspect of it, it's even spending 8 hours a day is not going to be enough, because even the best Blender artists are still learning. So yeah, let's straighten this part. Again, to straighten it, just find one face, straighten that, scale Y 0, scale X 0, select that face, just make sure that it's the active face. Ctrl L, that, then unwrap. In order just to make sure that the rest of these faces don't get unwrapped, just going to select Ctrl L. Let me use, I just want only I only want to straighten one part like this, and this like this. So Ctrl L, Shift, and then follow active quads, and that should straighten these edges. I think this wasn't super straight, so let's straighten this again. Follow active quads like that. When will you complete this architecture? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I've learned a lot from your videos. Thank you so much. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Just heal, pal. Yeah. Let me see. Unwrap. Okay. Okay, we also want this to be straightened, so I'll select it, follow active quads, and have it straightened like that. And now we should be good with our UV map here. Now all we have to do is just make sure I can duplicate this. Shift D on the Y. Actually need the entire pillar. A very useful tutorial for me. Thank you. I will one day master Blender like you. You should be able to do that, man. Sure, Hash, bro, you will master. Practice hard. Yeah, that's true. Just have to practice. Okay, so now, yeah, we have this concrete piece like that, and this here, this piece here has a mirror, should be mirrored, and I'm seeing that the UVs don't like to have this end gun, so I'm just going to add a loop cut around here, grab this vertex, and just isolate this for a second, just minimize on the end gun we're having right now, and just unwrap this again. I'm seeing some issues here, and I think that's a result of this shape here. Maxim, Ctrl E, Maxim, Ctrl E, Maxim, unwrap. If you're doing modular pieces like this, it's very important to keep UV unwrapping your stuff. Otherwise, if you delay it, it's going to become a bit difficult for you to work on later. Okay, so as I said, this has to be a mirror, has to be mirrored. So let's grab these faces, like this, and I think this piece here, I'm not sure. No, actually, let's not do that just yet. Let's use a mirror object. Mirror this. Yo, thank you for subscribing. E and G Reacts. Thank you. Origin to 3D cursor like that. And this also, let's add the array origin. Sorry, actually not that. We can just use an array, and yeah, I think I need to extend this a bit in like that. And now let's create the inside part. Follow him, or there is a lot of tutorials on introduction. Yeah, it would be a nice to be followed. One last question: where can I land a Blender? You can land Blender here and other channels. There are a lot of other channels. Yay, 100 likes. And who's that? Baraba. Thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate that. YouTube, oh pay me. Okay. Okay. Let's make the inside piece. That shouldn't be too hard. So for the inside piece, I think we can also go with. Let's actually first get in here. I'm going to add a curve and just scale it down like this, something like that. And I'm going to create a profile here. I think it can also be a curve. So I'll select this to turn them into a vector. Get rid of this vertex. Vector again, and just I think I can divide this and just start working on some details. I think this would be something like this. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Pedro Vieg. Thank you. Hit me on Discord. Okay, let me select this, scale on X, like that. And basically what I want to do is create the details for this. Unfortunately, the image is not very high detailed. Oh, let me change this to vector. Grab this. Basically just make some interesting detail we can use as a profile for this. So I will select this and select the profile and use it as a profile for our curve. I think we need to rotate this on the Y. bring it here. Yeah, so you can see, let me link this, have the same material so that you can see what we're doing. And I'll also move this to the backup collection so that it's easier. Yeah, YouTube is enough to learn everything. But sometimes if you want to get a structured course, it's much easier. And so, yeah, we are making this detail. You can see we have a circle there, and I can duplicate this, use Alt S to reduce the thickness of this, and subdivide this a few times. Actually, before I do that, I need to change this to aligned and then subdivide it and grab, let me see. I don't know if you can see, let me see if I have a higher resolution version of this. I don't think I do. Basically what we're creating are those circles there. And the way I think we can do them, we can just select these, bring those in, and turn them into vector, and select these, scale them up, scale individual origins, scale this down quite significantly, Ctrl L. Now we have that. I think that looks good. Okay, so from there, let's create these other details. I'll just use Shift D. I'll just select this piece, Shift D, because it looks like, and if I grab this segment, vector, like that. I think this needs to be a bit wider like that, and I can grab these middle pieces. So I just need a segment like this, Shift D, Shift D, just repeat that, actually have that like that. Cool, thank you, Sri. Why is Gothic architecture so intensive on the game engine? Yeah, because it has a lot of polygons. As you can see, there's a lot of curves, and to maintain those curves, you need a lot of polygons or edge loops. It's a pleasure to watch your workflow, learning new things all the time. Thank you, Q Delta. This is great technique to model Gothic assets. Thank you. And I think we need to select this segment, Shift D. I don't want to use the mirror modifier here. So I think I can just do this and select a segment here, Shift D, rotate this 90 degrees. Let's see. So this is rotated the wrong way. We can use the twist, or tilt to rotate this correctly, but I think I need to be in top view to get the alignment correctly. Yeah, something like that. Hopefully this is the center. Let me just make sure that it is. So this is going to be that. Duplicate this, Shift D, then just I think what we can do is just use a mirror modifier on this, turn on bisect. It's much easier. That, and I think you might need more details here, and I think this also needs to be rotated using the tilt option, like that. That. Now you need a plain textured as glass, sparkle glass. Yeah, I think that should be our next step. Ain't worth it to go to Gnomon to learn Blender. No, so what's your age? I think I'm getting to 30, or I'm already 30. I'm not sure. You're only 14? You're very young. By the way, had they teach, oh, you're talking about Gnomon? I think they do teach other stuff. I think we can also add in some other stuff here. I'm just going to Ctrl L, turn this to automatic. Ctrl L, Alt S. So basically you can add in extra details. I'm not sure though that this kind of design is also gothic, so just maintain that. We can reduce the poly count there and also the poly count for the bevel here. I am talented. I can learn anything fast if anyone teaches me. There are a lot of things you can. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube if you want to learn. So that's right. You don't have to buy stuff like CG Cookie for any reason. Must check out tutorials. From India. Hello, how is India? Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. But I think we only need now to add a plane, and what I'm also going to duplicate this and back it up. I think I already have a piece like this, so let me grab this edge loop, Shift D, and turn this into the so this is going to be our glass, and I think it should come a bit closer like that. Yeah, I think that's good. So unwrap. Unwrap like that. Now, let's make this glass. Instead of using concrete, let me call this glass. Which country are you from? I'm from Uganda. I was in East Africa. Okay. For the glass, I think I have sparkly glass, if that's what it's called. And let me see details. How is that glass called? What is it called exactly? I could do a quick Google search for glass like that. This is really cool. Oh, thank you Matthew. Did you apply the displacement map on the wall? No, I didn't apply. I haven't added any displacement. Yeah, hello pedagogue. Bye man. Glad to see you. I see you joined us for that brief moment you're here. Thank you. Does anyone know how that painted glass look called? Glass texture. Yeah, okay, I think it's called painted glass, I guess. Texture. Try sparkled glass. Stained glass. I think it's stained glass. Let me see. Sparkled glass. Let me see who gets it right. Yeah, so sparkled glass is noted. But stained glass, I think it could be it. Yeah, it's stained glass. So we have this texture. Let me see if textures.com has. You should add chat keyword. If it's stained glass. No. Stained glass is the word, I think. So who got it? Who got it right? That was Joshua Peters. Can I make my own stained glass? Yes, I can. But why? Why? That's a lot of work, and you're rarely going to see anyone do it that way, because it will take a lot of polygons. It would be computationally heavy. Cathedral glass. Yeah, I guess that would also bring it up, but we got it finally. Let me see. Do they have? Let me look at the reference image here. It's just glass. So which one should we use? There is this. There is this. There is this. Let me get this. Okay, so with this unwrap, again, let's just make sure that we are unwrapping stuff. So that's going to be our stained glass, and scale it up a bit. You know what? I think I want this to follow. So I want this to follow this. So I'm going to insert this like that, insert this like that, and just do something like this, add a maxim and unwrap. Now what that should do is it should enable me, to straighten these UVs. So I'm going to straighten this here and this here, unwrap. Okay, now let's try unwrap, Ctrl L, Shift H, unwrap using follow active codes, so that we can straighten this bit. Let's see. OMG, you're cutting yours so short. Okay, I think you're talking about someone else. But anyway, follow active codes. Okay, I like that. And now, if we look at our UV, so I want this. I can see now how this is following that. So we need that to be the same for this other side. So let me get this, Ctrl L, just straighten this piece here. Also have it follow this, and the rest can just be here. Yeah, I think that looks okay, like that. Okay. Now I can make this a bit more reflective using this. And I think it's reflective where the glass is, so I can use a convert ramp here to create a mask, a black and white mask, and we can add Shift Q. Let me add a math node here. Do I have a math node? Let me add convert math node here, and basically just use a greater than to create a black and white mask. Just play with the threshold. Like that. And I'm going to remove this from the roughness, so I can grab this color, mix RGB, use this as the factor. Like that, and this one I don't want to be too rough. The non-glass parts I don't want to be too rough. So you can see how that starts to look. I can also connect this to, let me see, Shift Q, connect this to the bump, like that. just a nice way to add some small detail. Let me just bring in some more music. Okay, something like that. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask. Sing. Okay, something like that. Now I want a full window that we can easily move around. That's modular. You love my voice? Thank you, thank you. Give the who is that who subscribed? Huna, thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate that. How about I won't take your money and teach you? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on in the chat, but okay. Give the texture to the glass shader. Yeah, so I want to maintain everything as a PBR texture because it makes it easier to bake other textures. If I start to mix different shaders, it's going to be a bit hard for me to bake the textures. So yeah, do I have a backup copy of this? Yeah, I do. So let me have this as a booleans collection. This shouldn't have a boolean anymore, but I want this to be made converted to a curve, to a mesh. Turn on translucent. Yeah, you know. Okay, let me add translucent, but yeah, like I was saying, if you start mixing shaders like this, it becomes very hard for you to bake the textures if you're going to bake the textures, and I'm planning on doing that. Hello, Miguel Alvaro Almagro. Thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate that. Yeah, okay. Translucent is on, like that. Then now let's just make sure that these are joined into a single mesh. The entire window is a single mesh, like that. Yeah, so this block is like that, and then you add in the window like that. Make sure I have bisect. Oh no. Hey, thank you, Cataline JJ. Oh, JJ, thank you for the subscription. I think I made a few mistakes here. I shouldn't have merged this before. I need to maintain this as a separate object, like that, and apply this mirror, and then that way I can make sure that everything is UV unwrapped correctly. Then I can join other two, like that. Okay. So if you're making money off Blender, I'm sure I'm lost with the chat. Anyway, so we have this wall, we have an empty wall, and so it's very easy to make this entire piece. And let's do that. So to do that, all we need to do is first bring in this wall. I just want to show you one way we can use this. So we have actually we want to use this, and then rotate this 90 degrees, and like that, bring in this at 45, rotate this 45 degrees so it can connect like that. I'm just trying to demonstrate how this module would work. Just align everything correctly like that. And then we can add an array to this in the Y or in the Z direction. Now I think I'm going to duplicate this, have a backup, and just join this, and first make sure that is not an instance. Apply the array and then apply the mirror object relations. My camera has gone, but that's okay. Just make sure that apply this, unwrap this correctly. Then I think this might also need to be, so let's use I need pack islands. Get these UV pack islands like that, and just join this like that. Actually, I don't have to really pack islands, but what I need is just, yeah, join this to this, move the origin 3D cursor like that. Okay, so now it becomes very easy to reuse this, so I can just do this and bring in this here, rotate it 45 degrees to make it aligned. And I think this face here, or this edge, has to be straightened and flat like that. Same, yeah, same on this side. This face has to be straightened and flat like so. So now you just need to have them matched like that. Grab this, that. Hello Ashraf, how are you? Blender looks like 3ds Max. Nah, I don't think so. Because 3ds Max interface nice is no, it doesn't at all. Okay, so here, yes, I'm not sure what's going on in the chat, but yeah, avoid being aggressive, man. Let's just keep the chat healthy. So yeah, something like that. Our windows might be a little bit smaller, so let's make them bigger. So So to do that, I think all we have to do is just move the cursor somewhere, like there. And scale. And I think I can bring this back. Yeah, I think that's much better. And so that would be this piece here. Okay, what else can we do? Let's create these details here. They look somewhat similar to what we already have, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm just going to duplicate one of these pieces. So I just have this on the side. Let me duplicate this on the side like that. And we want to do it. Okay, it would be much difficult to do that. Let me go back to the backups and get this here, this piece here. Shift D. I can move it out of the backups and just reuse it with a few changes because we want to make a window that looks somewhat similar to this. So to do that, we need to change a few things. The first thing, you can see that everything here is a bit wider. The window is a little bit wider, like that. I don't think I need all these points there, and you can, I don't know. Yo, Pancho Lopez, thank you for subscribing. Okay, then because I scaled this up, you see that the circle has been squished, but that's okay. And I think I don't need these segments here, so I'll get rid of those. Same here, don't need that. Okay, I'll also delete this segment and make sure that this piece is rotated correctly. Yeah, something like that. And grab these pieces, bring them down. So I'm creating this piece here. And I think now I think, oh, thank you for subscribing, Christian Najem. Thank you. I think what would be much easier is just to start this from scratch, get rid of these segments, most of these segments, grab this, get rid of that segment, and remove this as well. So we start with this here. Now let's make one that does this. So I'll just do, let me first turn off bisect, Control L, make sure I am saving a backup copy of this. Control Shift D, scale this down. This can be vector, line these up. It's supposed to be vector, and this is supposed to be vector, line them up like this, and they should be in the center. They should be lined up and scaled to 0, scaled to 0, like that. Vector, like that. Then we can I think this might be a bit thinner like that. Then Shift D again for the inside parts that are much thinner too. So Control L, this can be vector. So just bring this up and bring back our circle. This again, subtract, just select these, change them to vector, bring them closer, just get these, scale them individually. And basically we can repeat the same thing here. And for this, if you look closely, this is supposed to be rotated. That. Then we get a few circles here. I think they use a vector here. I think this looks like a heart, so let's turn it to 1, something like that. Shift D. Okay, this might be a bit large, so they have to be somewhat small. Can I use a spin tool? No, I can't. Just tilt the picture than the model. What? Image is on one side of the plane, very hard to model. Not sure what. Okay. Anyway, let me just Shift D, rotate this, repeat, Shift D, rotate. Okay, I think, let me see. Ctrl L, cursor selected. Just need these to line up correctly. Yeah, something like that. Get these rotated. Like that. I think we need a piece here. You can use empty axis and auto array and accuracy to do that. Yeah, you can do that, but it would take way much time than just eyeballing it. Yeah, it takes quite a lot of time to set up. I think I would need just add these smaller hats in here. I think that's the only problem. The only issue is this is not lined up. Not sure how I missed this, but it's not lining up correctly. So let's just grab everything, make sure that it does line up. By the way, where are you from? I'm from Uganda, man. I'm from Uganda. 140 likes. People like this kind of stuff. It seems so. So you were right. And thanks for the suggestion, because this was your suggestion, I remember. Okay, so this is where we are. Is this your full-time work, and how login. Have you been using Blender for? I've been using Blender for around 13 now, or 13 years, I think. I don't remember, but not consistently because I had school. I had to break off for school and other things. It has been mostly the last 3 years that I've been consistently doing Blender. You need to smooth curves. Yeah, I can do that, but because to smooth that, I would just need to increase the subdivisions on this, but then that means that we're going to have a lot of polygons. Actually, I need to reduce the polygon count on these because that's too high, and they're usually going to be seen from a very long distance. And if you look at closely this, you can see this is also segmented. The curves are not super smooth. You can see this is segmented there. Yeah. Unless if you're doing this for a movie or something, you don't really need to use that much resolution on the curves. And yeah, especially, let me see, this we might need less, especially on this. I think I need to reduce the, but you can see already there, it looks okay without much resolution. So yeah, so you have been doing this as long as I gave on 2.4. Your thoughts on 2.4? Yeah, I started using a Blend on 2.4, I think 2.47, and yeah, 2.47, yeah. And, it wasn't very easy to use, but I guess that could have been just me without, I didn't have it as, I wasn't good as I am now, so it could also be that. Yeah, Blender is kind of my full-time job, but not live streaming. Let's see what. Okay, yeah, so we need to convert this into, let me see, do I need this in other areas? So we need to have this sharp thing here, and yeah, so let's make a copy of this, Shift D, so we can make a sharp version of this, and that should be easily, so it should be something like this, and this should be sharp, so I just need to just do something like that, Control extrude, something like that, and this here, yeah, actually these pieces here need to be moved up. So I need all segments below this to be just deleted, just removed, and just scale individual origin, scale to 0, and then just bring that this up. That this also, this segment, and is first turn this into aligned, subdivide, actually aligned, I need to get rid of this segment here, or just I think I need let me first change this to aligned, and then it should be much easier to subdivide, to remove. Are you going to make an animation? I don't think so. I don't think so because I'm not seeing what I would be animating here. Yo, thank you for subscribing, Helen Mac. Really appreciate that. But I would say putting Blender on stream is not an effective move. Why don't you think so? You mean streaming is not an effective move? Why do you think so? I need this piece here, so let me just borrow this. I think we have that. Gothic Cathedral? Yes, that's what we're doing, yes. Screen and that. You don't just update pipeline software, that's usual. Yeah, V8 sub, I'm not sure what you mean at all. Okay, now all we have to, let me see, is there any other pieces that look like this? I don't think so. So we are safe to just convert this to a mesh, convert this to a mesh, and just join the two. Now we have to UV unwrap this, which we should. I think I need to go one by one. I think I can come back to this and UV unwrap it. But so this just needs some materials. So this is that window, and if you look closely, this window has something going on here. So I think I just need to add that, and we should be done with this at least. So somewhat like this, and has some small details here. Just UV unwrap this. seam, unwrap, give it the same material like that, and I think this also needs to be on this one, like that. Just join them, join them. Oh, this is supposed to be a curve, so let's apply, convert to mesh, convert to mesh, join like that. Okay, and we also need the window or the glass, the stained glass, so I can just grab this edge loop, hit F, unwrap, and just give it the stained glass material like that. Do the same for this. For this, I think the glass surface is only on here. Shift D, F, unwrap, glass. Just goes to show how much work goes into an animated movie or graphically intense game. Yeah, exactly. Because especially for these movies, you just look at one building and you know how long it took to make a structure like that. And this is just creating one building. Now imagine hundreds of buildings, and we are being very, very loose on our polygon flow, but I'm sure those light studios are very strict on how you model the kind of edges you have and how they're flowing. So yeah, they would be much more strict. Okay, so with this, let's create some walls. So I'm just going to grab any of these walls and start piecing things together. So I'm just going to have this on the left, have this here. First, extend this so that it's a bit longer like that, and we need a boolean to cut through this. So I'm just going to grab this edge loop, Shift D, F, P, extrude like that. Grab this, I think it's a bit down. I'll just select that. This has no array, so this should look like this. The only difference is the glass is a bit bluish, so let's use a glass like that. I think I had some in here, stained glass. Yeah, something like that. It should be a bit different. Now, one thing I forgot is that the circle here is a bit much larger. So let me first see how can I do that, make it larger. I would have to select all these hats, Control L, and the circle, Control L. Scale that up because it's really large. It's a large piece. And just for easy selection, I'm just going to give it a vertex group 1, and we select this outer ring. I think it's a bit thicker. And hide that for a second. Grab all these pieces here. Grab these, bring them down a bit. Yep, something like that. Hello, sorry I can't pronounce your name, but thank you for subscribing. Grab this. Yeah, so something like that. And yeah, something like that. Now we can join this together. But we need to first apply the boolean, join this to that, and we are good with this piece. So now if you want, another thing I'm noticing is that let me see, is that so? Is that so? Actually, I think, yeah. The gap between each of these is not that big. Thank you, M. Nicole, for subscribing. Really appreciate that. Yeah, so the gap between these walls is not that big. Between the windows is not that big, so I need to just shrink these closer so that, yeah, like that. So that means I want, let me see. I want the walls to match in length, so you can see what we have done there. I can also do with this here, but I need to correct this a bit, so that's a bit sharp. Just like that. Can you make a trip window where one is higher in the middle? A trip window, a trip window, a trip window. Like trip. What trip? Like that. Yeah, not sure what a 3.0 is. Okay. Now you can see how pieces are coming together. And I think tomorrow we can start from there. Getting hungry. Need to get something to eat. Yeah, so tomorrow, next time, the same time, I'll be here. Hopefully you can join me as well. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for being part of the stream. I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, thank you Smith, thank you Joshua, thank you Kapil Patel, thank you Burning Bright, thank you Sana Ichiana. Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you Screen Nadal. Yeah, so if you haven't liked the stream, I would really appreciate it if you can on your way out. But for today, that's going to be it. See you tomorrow.